Every time I think about getting this feed wagon done, I think, oh, I just need to put a floor in it and it's done. But the truth is there's still some welding that needs to happen. I need to fill in this giant hole in the front of the feed wagon. I need to add some little pieces down here in the front where my plan is to make like a little salt block holder. And I've got to come up with some way to latch this rear gate. And I might even go ahead and straighten it. I'm not sure yet, but that's the goal today. I want to get all the welding done so that really the last thing that I need to do is put a floor in it. That's what's going on today on Farmertylerranch. When it comes to marking out sheet metal, there's a few different things that you can use, and it really depends on the condition of the metal as to which one I reach for. If you're working on metal that is rusty or dirty, it's really hard to beat one of these Mark All silver streaks. They show up really well on that type of metal. But when the metal is clean, like what I'm using today, sometimes the silver streak pencil is a little bit hard to see. The paint pen is nice, but usually when drawing such a long line, these run out of paint and they don't make a very good mark. So I have found that on clean sheet metal, it's really tough to beat just a good old Sharpie. I thought that was a little hard to cut. Yeah, I got right into her. Cut a bunch off and it should be lighter. Carrying sheet metal, it is one of the things that I despise the most about fabrication, but the easiest way I've found to do it is to put a couple C-clamps so you at least have something to grab onto, because otherwise it's heavy, it's floppy, there's no structure, it's almost impossible to move it around by yourself. But with a light enough gauge and C-clamps, you can wrestle through it. All right, well, I got this thing hung up here now and it's looking pretty decent, but the thing about sheet metal is it's very sensitive to heat. So it's important that I get as many clamps on here as I can, and I'm even going to get my braces and try to clamp them up to try to hold everything together. Well, this is looking pretty good to me now. I've got a little bit of a bow in the sheet metal here where it's not fitting up to this piece of angle iron, but as I kind of tack the perimeter, then I can start doing some other things to close that gap up before I weld it here. So I think we can go ahead and fire up the welder and get after it. Well, it looks good, I guess, but more importantly, it's functional. It's going to do what I need it to do. So now that this is done, we can go ahead and move on to the next thing. And the next thing that I want to focus on is this rear gate that I made a couple videos ago. I don't remember, but Two things that I want to do here. One, I want to figure out some sort of a way to latch this that's going to be strong. You know, if cattle are pushing on this gate, I need a latch that's going to hold up to that. And then two, I can see that the gate sags a little bit because all of the weight right now is resting on the hinges. So what I would like to do is to add some sort of like a shelf or something here that I can rest the gate on, so that not all the weight is on the hinge, but you know, it's being evenly distributed between the hinge and this little thing on the end here. I want to make this little tab that the gate's going to rest on out of 1/2 inch thick metal. That should put the gate right about in the right spot. So in order to do that, I need to cut like a little half circle in this piece of 1/2 inch by 2 inch flat stock, and then that way it'll fit up on the feed bunk side of the trailer. I'm not sure if my plasma cutter will cut 1/2 inch metal, but we're gonna find out. Let's see if the old Power Max 30 can do it. It'll work. Well, I'm one of those people that always complain about. I forgot to turn the camera on when I welded this last little stopper plate on my gate catch. I don't know what to call any of these things. Just kind of make it up as I go. But the purpose of this is just so that the rear gate can't close too far, and therefore whatever I do for a latch is going to hopefully line up every time. But before we do a latch, we got to weld this piece on because it is going to locate the gate, and then we'll know where the latch actually needs to go. But first, and I almost didn't film this because I don't know how interesting it really is, but I'm gonna weld these little pieces of angle iron on the corners of the front here, and that will give me somewhere to bolt boards to make a salt block box on the front. Oh, Lord. Ah. Spark went right in my ear. This guy on here. So now for a latch. There's kind of two routes I can take here. I can go the real simple route and just, make two plates that line up with a hole, and you can stick a pin through there. But I don't know why I don't know if I want to say get fancy, but I want to try something a little bit more elaborate that I think is going to be better. There will be no pins to lose, and it just seems like the way to go. Are you kidding me? Well, that's what I came up with. I'm not sure if I really love this or not, but it does accomplish at least one thing that was pretty important to me. And that is, there's nothing that sticks out where the cows are gonna be having their necks or their shoulders. The only thing is this bolt right here. I will cut this off before I use the feeder and grind that smooth. That was the main reason why I wanted to do this. If I used like pins and stuff, I was gonna have tabs sticking out here in the actual bunk space where their heads and necks would be, and I didn't want that. So this is nice. There's no pins to lose. We'll see. They might be able to get this open accidentally, I'm thinking, but if that is the case, then I'll have to figure out a way to like get a spring or something to hold it down. But for now, I think it's gonna be all right. So with that, I think it's safe to say now that all the welding is done on the feed wagon. And honestly, I really did want to paint this, but I'm just not gonna have time this year at least. I need this thing like yesterday. So as soon as I get the floor put in this, we're gonna probably load it up with hay and take it straight over to the winter pasture. That's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope I'll see you again on Farmer Tyler Ranch.